No one in history has ever survived alone on Mars for more than 7 days. Yet this astronaut has been stranded on this dangerous and lifeless planet for a full month. To make matters worse, all his teammates believe Mark is dead. Back on Earth, over 60 million kilometers away, Mission Control declared him dead and held a memorial service for him. Everyone knew that during the Mars mission, Mark was accidentally struck by debris from communication equipment. In the massive storm, there was no way he could survive more than a minute. To protect the other crew members, the captain quickly ordered them to launch the spacecraft and leave Mars to return to Earth, losing all contact with Mark. But what no one expected was that Mark actually survived that massive storm against all odds. According to his precise calculations, if he rationed his supplies carefully, he could survive on Mars for 400 days. But after 400 days, he would face death by starvation. The next. Crew from Earth wouldn't arrive for another 4 years. To hold out until the rescue team arrived, Mark decided to attempt what seemed impossible: grow enough food on Mars to last 3 years. Next, Mark sealed off the entire lab with plastic sheeting, dug up Martian soil and spread it across the floor. Then he started copying how farmers work back on Earth, using tools to dig planting furrows and preparing thoroughly for planting. Next, Mark carefully cut open the waste packets his teammates had stored and dumped all the contents into plastic containers. The overwhelming stench nearly made him throw up. After that, Mark placed the waste beneath the soil, then cut potatoes in half and planted them above the waste so the potatoes could fully absorb the nutrients. Now came the most critical step, because only adequate water could ensure the crops would survive. Fortunately, Mark was a biologist and knew that burning hydrogen and oxygen produces water. Through combustion, water began to slowly form. On day 54, Mark finally saw hope for survival when a vibrant green plant broke through the soil. As time passed, harvest season finally arrived. When Mark saw his crops bearing fruit, he was incredibly excited and began using the waste to grow even more potatoes. With food security, Mark began making longer-term plans. The next human landing site on Mars was 3,200 kilometers away from this base. When the other astronauts reached that location, Mark would need to be there too. This meant Mark had to start planning his route now, but his rover had a maximum range of only 35 kilometers. For this journey, Mark would need to prepare plenty of food supplies and solar panels for charging, and spend over 50 days in the rover to reach his destination.